to ILT Stadium Southland in Invercargill for the third and final Super Sunday. It's round 11 and things kicked off between the Pulse and the Magic. The Magic, surprising many, Wendy, pushed the Pulse for a good 50 minutes.
Yeah, I thought the Magic really brought their A game today, and we knew that Casey had raked them up during the week, so it was good to see them put a clinical performance in for that sort of 50-minute mark, and then obviously the last 10 they let themselves down, but good to see an improvement and also to put the Pulse under pressure.
Absolutely. Well, Karen Berger, she was MVP in that match. She continues to be the inform wing defence.
Yeah, inform, absolutely, and I think her intercept stats are huge, even beating some of the goal defences and goal kicks in the league. So week in, week out, she's getting a lot of balls. She puts a lot of pressure on the wing attacks, and yeah, she's just steady. There's not much more Yvette would be asking from her, I wouldn't imagine.
We saw a few changes down that Pulse end, though, didn't they? Were forced because the Magic were playing good. Ali Tumu came on at one point.
Yeah, it was good to see the Pulse, have to do changes, and I think leading in tomorrow night, that probably set them up nicely to rest some players. But yeah, the Magic brought that physical presence, I thought, tonight, and it really put the Pulse under pressure at times.
One of those players was Kelly Jury. She was awesome, as was Casey Kupua. She's been quiet in the last couple of weeks, but she came back to the fore today.
Yeah, I think Jury had a great start to the season and just kind of went off a few games ago, but she came back tonight and she got some great touches. She looked like she wanted to be there tonight, and she really lifted her team with getting some crucial intercepts at crucial times. So great to see that combo in the circle really working well again.
And we also see, if you can see vision there from Tiana Maturo came on at one point as well. So it's just awesome to see that pressure was on throughout the court from the Magic, and in the end that score was 53-45 to the Pulse. And then we got to match two, the Steel versus the Stars. There was a little bit of emotion behind this match. Georgie Salter Memorial Trophy's been introduced today, and we saw 50 minutes in that first match. We saw 45 minutes that there was a competitive match, but the Mystics, they just collapsed in the last.
Yeah, I think that shows Steel's experience. It was a tight game, and then the senior players from the Steel stepped up, and the Mystics just went away from their game plan, and that last 15 certainly was not positive for them. So certainly a bit to work on for Mystics, but a positive they could keep up with Steel, who were in pretty good form for 3/4 of the game.
Well, Shannon Saunders, she was great again. She's been stepping it up, back in the frame for the Silver Ferns, and she just combined well with her shooters.
She's a very solid player, and she doesn't get MVP a lot, but she deserved it tonight. She was all over the court. She's fit, she's fast, and her feeding, as we see there, she put some lovely ball in tonight. So great to see her confidence lifting, and I think that's one player who could be a boulder for that Friends 12.
Yeah, and she combined well, as she does so often, with Gina Crampton. Well, good news for the Mystics was Phoenix Karaka was back. She's missed a good chunk of the season due to concussion. She came back onto court, made an early appearance, disappeared, but then came back and was great at goal defence.
Yeah, I was a little worried when she had her 5-minute stint and then hit the sideline, but when she came back on, sudden impact from her, and when you've been out for 4 games or 4 games, it's a tough ask to come back in, but she was hungry, she got touches for her team, and I think she's really grown this year as a captain and led from the front and put in some solid performances, so I'm glad she could come back tonight after not being on the court for a long time.
Well, she was certainly impressive, but it was the Steel in the end, 69-58. And then it was the last match of the day. It was one apiece before this match between the Stars and the Tactix. It was the Tactix that got over the line in the end, 53-48. Ali Bird taking basically all but 6 of the goals for her team.
Yeah, she was great tonight, and she just continues to lift week in, week out. Putting all your team shots up apart from 6, it's a big work rate for her, and she's really come a long way this season, and I think her training has improved and she's looking really strong, taking some ball on that baseline against 2 defenders on her.
And there's some beautiful feeds as well from Kimi Order-Poi. Well, Kayla Cullen, she was another player that mixed up the different positions, but it was at goal defence when she really had an impact.
Yeah, I think that might be her chosen position there. She just has a lot of time to read it from that goal defence position, and she came out and got an intercept and 4 deflections. And she just brings that energy and that athleticism, I think, through the team. So cool to see her out there, and just want her confidence to grow coming on that court after her injuries.
And we saw Tini Bailey go off late in that match with a calf injury. The Stars will have their fingers crossed that it's nothing significant, but they were the losers today. The Stars, it was 48-53 to the Tactix. But that's all we have time for. It's been a huge Super Sunday. Thanks for joining us here from Invercargill.